Hello friends, and welcome back to another virtual story time with Miss Liz. Today, I am at a park near the Perkiomen River in Pennsylvania. That is a bit northwest of Philadelphia, where I usually read my stories. And today, we're reading a book about the in-between. Specifically, a young person who feels that she is in between two worlds. The old world is the place where she grew up, and the new world is where she moves with her family to the United States. Let's see what's going to happen in this story. It's called Home is in Between. It's by Mitali Perkins with illustrations by Lavanya Naidu. And this is the star of our story. Her name is Shanti. Now, in this story, it's briefly mentioned that they're celebrating a festival called Holi. Holi is an ancient Hindu celebration, sometimes called the Festival of Color, the Festival of Spring, or the Festival of Love. And today, March 29th, is when Holi is widely celebrated all over the world. We'll talk a little bit more about that soon. But here we go, we're starting. Home is in Between by Mitali Perkins, illustrated by Lavanya Naidu. Goodbye, home, Shanti shouted. She waved to Didu and to warm monsoon rains and the green palm trees of her village. The plane landed far away in a town with cold rain and orange and yellow leaves. Shanti clutched her parents' hands and she whispered, "Hello, home." It is very different than where she came from, that's for sure. Their apartment felt like the village. Inside was Ma cooking luchi, funny stories in Bangla, no shoes, and Baba's big laugh. So Bangla is what they call the language they speak, and a lot of people speak this all over the world, especially in India and Bangladesh. In fact, Bangla or Bengali is the 7th most popular language in the whole world. So inside, it felt a lot like the home that they recently left. But outside, town was strange. There was new money to learn, new manners too, like napkins on laps, no elbows on the table, and English words that Shanti didn't know. So, back and forth she skipped, remembering the village and learning the town, remembering the village and learning the town again and again. She was always moving in between those two worlds. And I'm sure it felt like a lot of work to Shanti to always be remembering the old ways and learning the new. But it looks like she went to school, she started making friends. Let's see what else is gonna happen. Ma showed her how to dance Kathak, and Tanya brought her to ballet class. Looks like the dances she did at home with her ma were a lot different than the ones she was learning with her new friends. Baba taught Shanti Bangla letters like ka and ga. And Shanti read him The Little Engine That Could in English. So she had 2 languages that she was using. Halloween brought trick-or-treaters. Shanti gave out candy. "Next year, join us," Tanya said. "Maybe," Shanti answered. And it looks like Ma and Baba are experiencing the first Halloween of their lives too, where everybody is dressed up, sometimes as scary things. And then Christmas came to town next. At Tanya's house, Santa filled a stocking for Shanti. Wow, looks like she is getting to experience some things that many of us celebrate for the first time. Back and forth she ran, learning the town, remembering the village, again and again in between. She was bringing her new kinds of lunch to school, and it looks like her classmates were probably learning a little bit about the things that she liked to eat. She was also learning how to make snowballs because where she came from, I don't think it snowed very much, if at all. Shanti danced through Bollywood films with her parents, and she laughed through Hollywood movies with Tanya and Malcolm. For Holi, they called the village. Uncles and aunts and cousins were splashed in paint and feasting on Didi's biryani. So, I mentioned earlier that Holi is the festival that is happening today, March 29th. And many people all over the world, and especially in and around India, are celebrating. One of the most well-known parts of Holi is when people throw colorful powder at each other and they squirt each other with water or water balloons. I think that sounds pretty fun. But look at Shanti. Her eyes are filled with tears. I think that celebrating Holi with her family is something that she really misses about her old home. So Ma played the harmonium and sang village songs. But later, on the piano, Shanti had to practice heart and soul in English. Back and forth she trudged. If only her friends could learn the village, if only her parents could learn the town. Again and again, she was in between. There was lots to learn. Looks like Shanti spent a lot of time studying. She even fell asleep at her desk. And sometimes she didn't get the grades she wanted, but it looks like her parents, her Baba, were supportive and knew that it would take time for her to learn. In the grocery store, it looks like her Ma had some trouble purchasing items and other people were getting frustrated. It would be nice if they could be a bit more patient, wouldn't it? And the Easter holiday was coming up. Shanti saw her friends Malcolm and Tanya celebrating with an egg hunt, but her and Ma were going elsewhere. Spring brought a surprise snow. Shanti and Tanya joined Malcolm's snowball team. Whap! Looks like Shanti had great aim. "You can throw," a kid said. "Do you play t-ball?" "What's that?" asked Shanti. "Baseball, silly. Where are you from? Mars?" Shanti didn't answer. Suddenly, she felt tired. Seems like the words from this young person were hurtful. She was working really hard to get familiar with her new home. And to be told that she still was perceived as someone foreign, someone from Mars, I think that hurt. Where was she from? Was she from the village? Was she from the town? I need a rest, Shanti thought. So Shanti lay down right there in between. Try to imagine how Shanti's feeling. She loves her family, she loves her history, she loves her old home. And she is learning to love her new home. How is it that Shanti can exist in between two places? Does she have to choose between them? Or is there another way? Let's see. After a while, she looked up at a blue sky with breezy clouds and birds winging by. They were watching over her village. They were watching over her town. They were watching over Shanti. She stretched her arms wide. She was good at making anywhere feel like home, especially here in the space between cultures. Now, home is in between. Shanti sings Didu's Bangla songs. She hums heart and soul in English. She invites Ma and Baba, Tanya and Malcolm, and the whole town if they want. It looks like they're having a party. They remember their villages and dance with Shanti, a Bollywood ballet, perfect for in between. And it looks like many people in Shanti's new home are learning a little bit about her old one. And maybe in between, is the best place to be. Neither here nor there, but both, remembering and honoring and appreciating both of her homes. And that, my friends, is the end. But before we end this story, I wanted to take a moment to read the author's note, where she explains a little bit about why she wrote this book. My parents were from the villages of Bengal. They brought me to the United States when I was 7 and raised me in a town where we were one of a few families from other countries. I worked hard to understand American manners, slang, trends, and rituals. That was the code at school. And at the same time, I was trying to stay fluent in traditional Bengali culture and language, the code of home. Going back and forth was tiring, and I often felt as if I didn't belong in either world. But once I grew up, I realized that switching between two codes as a child has been a gift. It's like learning a new language. Kids are faster and better at it than grown-ups. And if we work at it as kids, we keep some ability to crack cultural codes for the rest of our lives. It's like a superpower, I tell young immigrants. The space between cultures doesn't have to be a barrier. For children who grow up there, it can be a threshold of gratitude to celebrate the best of many worlds. Please make yourself at home in Shanti's story. Her name in Bangla means peace. And that, my friends, is the end. I hope you enjoyed Home is in Between, and I hope it gave you time to pause and think about what it means to call a place home. Thank you all so much for reading with me. I will see you soon for more great books. Thanks for watching.